Melu within the past few days or a week to 2 weeks. I was able to pick out 1 or 2 points and I want to analyze it. First of all, let us talk about Matias. Ezuaku, this one you dey frown, you dey adekwa. Obo aye gba m ọsọ na agba n'ọsọ nọrụ nwanne m agba n'ọsọ onwe ife nchọ ka nkụziere ụmụnne anyị. Ezuaku, I posted a picture. Ka ife dị na that picture. Ife dị na that picture una ntiri agrary project Zion. Deye charity. Ti Mgbirishi project Zion. Deye charity. Ti personal 4-story building Matias Lolo. Deye business. Ona abogwoju ụfọdụ anya. Let me explain something to you people. Ọwụrụ na anyị na-abịa after Matias like this. We are not coming after Matias because some of you are there. Matias is better than you. Matias is better than you. Blah, 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 blah. Talk about your achievement. You don't need to talk about my achievement because Adame Jama Madaka. The reason I do maka achievement Matias. Who because no ne Jama Kayaka. And because no ne Jama Kayaka, we must have to analyze him, analyze those people on the Jamaica. Where no can ebido ewu ahụ n'afọ compared to that on the Jamaica. Now some of you will say, na project Zion Loro na agree, not through church business, not through church business, no members church here who I have seen such comments. Now, let me tell you something you need to know now. Matias is now a religious leader. Matias is now a daddy GO. Matias is now a general overseer. Matias is now a minister. Matias is now a church owner. And because he is now a church owner, we must analyze his actions the same way Asia analyzes the actions of other church owners. Let me give you an example. Adeboye will branches of his church everywhere around the world. Matias will branches of his church in Port Harcourt, in Lagos, in Abuja, in Mbo, 2 n'Enugu, 1 n'Ebe. In fact, nke ha launched somewhere in an African country or so. There was a time much of Abia Mepe branch that Newi. Before nsuo n'ekwe wesi ka mfo ebe nke ya no we me. Ka nwe malo boss ndị Newi ayi bidoro ego ala ogbafuo. So, can you tell me what is the difference between Matias and Adeboye? What is the difference between Matias and Oyedebo? What is the difference between Bishop Mora and Matias? What is the difference between Evangelist Ebuka Obi and Matias? In fact, the difference between Evangelist Ebuka Obi and Matias is that Evangelist Ebuka Obi is heading a ministry and he doesn't have branches opened everywhere, but rather only members everywhere. But Matias is trying as much as possible to cover so much, even though can cover Gulu in so many years. That's why you see him opening branches everywhere, whether they will members in AJ or they will members in AJ. He keeps on branches. Now, let us analyze those two parties so that we can understand. Now, no two Matias Yasego, Nando Kanolo Hospital. I mean, Nando Kaneme Halowa School, Lucha School. Na members sefa, nde wotale ga ejuwelu school a na haya afford that school. No fodo even though can mepe gasere na their members other are assessing way. Now, I want to ask you a question this night. Just like in this way, that Matias is now a religious leader. He is now a general overseer. He is now a bishop in his own ministry. So it is now assumed that now IABD hold as accountable as APC hold in the pastor. For example, when you talk about Evangelist Ebuka Obi's Seraphic Water or Seraphic Hospital, not free, you should be able to talk about business Mathias Ezeaku. Now, let us even put it this way. How many of Matias members can afford to live in that house all on poor? How many of Matias members can afford to live in any of his houses on alone for commercial purposes? How many of his members can be able to buy even a tire of tipper bongolo on ele? How many of his members can be able to buy even a plot of land in any of his estate on ele? How many of his members, since now pastors or churches where establishment have somewhere in order to raise money for them to carry out other activities, a mandate na or free service to everybody. Now, just like into Unusi to Konyoro Mathias Ego or Wejemepe Omena na Wayo Hospital that is not functioning anywhere. That is, as far as I'm concerned, a charity wing of that church here, which is Omena Church and ministry. It's a charity wing. Every other thing that is happening, who a product of him, that is the bishop of that Osusu ministry, do very far away from the charity part of that ministry. Yeah? Now, I say no Meperu free hospital, which we know that it is a scam because it doesn't exist anywhere. Yes, they found format and update. There is no free hospital anywhere. I'm going to free hospital nka or uzia wuf where they push better. Mwese jogodu park ya moto gwa je na GUO n'ututu echi niile na ọwụ na ịchọrọ ije program ngo ala go to GUO and enter free moto iruo na GUO n'ụtụtụ tu okwute okonisi mmadụ. So when I just ndị mmadụ kedu free hospital dị ife adụ na Anambra State na adụ so vacant onwe onye na anọ na does it mean na iruo na teaching hospital Nnewi je na teaching hospital dị n'Ogidi pagaria na general hospitals everywhere and private hospitals near there. Now people prefer to go and pay their own money rather than to go for a free one. The point I'm trying to make here is that no one at that free one, as functional as he's claiming to be, so he should now begin to see himself as a religious leader, which he is. He shouldn't even count himself out. So in Ajo, Kerunde Zionone now assess him for the Evangelist Ebuka Obi well. Okay, you better no well free hospital. You better go now. The Evangelist Ebuka Obi well free Modernizing baby's home. You better go the Evangelist Ebuka Obi well free psychiatric hospital. Eba na edebe ndị si adroma. Free hospital. Deba na agree. Free old people's home. Deba na agree. Free rehabilitation center. Deba na agree. Now, do you know how many women the maternity wing of Seraphic Foundation? Do you know how many women that foundation na cater for? Name free delivery without paying any money. Do you know how many people that foundation na cater for? Name free medical treatment without paying any dime. Do you know how many students that Seraphic Foundation may see to their academics for that one kobo? Do you know how many empowerment that Seraphic Foundation may go to, which is a branch of Zion Ministry, a charity branch of Zion Ministry? Into Igbo of themselves were a charity wing of Unapologetically Ezeaku ministry worldwide, headed by his Lord Bishop Matias. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So if he believes that all the money members because of others a girlfriend, they go another church members can Evangelist Ebuka Obi jiwejewe ife ọlụlụ ekwem. I don't need to disagree with anything ị na-ekwu now ka i wee nwee ike ghọtakwa nke m na-ekwu. Ịghọtago? Now ife m na-ajụzi gị owo since na Matias ajoinugokwa na ndị ụka na that osusu ministry a na-enye onyinye a na-ebi ihe a na-eme donation a na-ekpokọnyọrụ ya a na-eme donation a na-ekpokọnyọrụ ya as a bishop of osusu ministry, as a bishop of osusu ministry, how many of his members can comfortably pay for any of his houses? How many of his members can comfortably buy one of those bungalow, not to even talk about tire motor? How many of his members can buy even a plot of land na any site about the Mary estate? None of his members. What he shows is that he is living more comfortable than most of his members. Even those of them who don't exploit as poor as those people who have their church in that place in poor. Because why I can tell you that as poor as those people, 90% of people who are worshiping with him in poor are so poor. So poor in the sense that now I cannot stay in New Life Anglican Church, even my home church. I cannot come to church on Sunday, nor on a New Life Anglican Church. Aneke amata iko rice eto amashi enye mmadu. Amata iko olokabi eto amashi enye mmadu. Ewotofu onion udebe amashite eketa sachet of granite oil enyonya. I cannot be in New Life Anglican Church on ebe meme ngwonde na ebe ahụ ọnụ amanomu na paraise 5 6 ogona yezuru ha, and I know there are many other people you are willing to join me in that process. That is to show that the church may progress. 1 2 Bagariana our churches every Sunday iru ebe a iya fu moto funde nwere moto decide ibu machine bia full different classes and caliber of people no ka. You will know that the church is progressing. Jena church in Matias na mpo. So also moto ye wife ya ku na compound. If o say ya fu akanchawa eji agba okada ebua na eto. Akanchawa eji agba okada ebua na eto. Ke ya fu there. Then another thing wo oga ya agbaso ụka. Owole ego ndị ochungana oke ibe na atụtari e wori shakara ha boss o de boss a haji ana we put away one accident mmadu we nwone. Very poor people, wretched people, very wretched. Yeah? But upon that poverty hana battle na that church oka na mind anaha offering. Why can't he forget about offering? It's a question. Why can't he forget about offering? Must he collect offering? So he is now a religious leader. So we will now begin to treat him the same way as we treat his counterpart in other religious organizations. You want to go? You want to go? Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, no expansion. They are neither growing, they are not growing. The same people from January to December, yet their noise now too loud. Look at what I am very happy that Evangelist Ebuka Obi has shown them that he is a force and a movement. He has Evangelist Ebuka Obi overgrow go. Either season on a ministry. He is not running a ministry. He is leading a movement. Evangelist Ebuka Obi is leading a movement. He has shown it practically. If you compare and contrast, he amana Matias ka unwa bishop ko. Many folk that will say a beggar. What has he ever done without soliciting funds from people? Soliciting fund from people, even to the point of his settle watakere, so ye money hunting na charity foundation. The major financier of every single thing on him. To even settle that boy, he even begged people for money again. olukwa the guy makwuwe na Facebook ndị mmadụ tụkọnyụ akwa ego for you to settle a boy isowu ahụsụrụ sinsi ijekwa ụgwọ shop jekwa ụgwọ warehouse ka ụmụnna ya bịa tụghị ngwafe na warehouse ha iwe ijekwa ụgwọ shop kwụ ụgwọ warehouse were 1 million now 1 million naira inye that guy onye ka o eji wee paaki ngwa afịa na warehouse taya Highlander ole ka a na-ele taya Toyota Spider ego ole ka a na-ele ana m ajụ ajụjụ taya Toyota Camry taya Corolla ego ole ka a na-ele taya one ka 1 million naira ya egota iji wee kwụọrọ ụgwọ shop unuko jekwakwa ụgwọ warehouse ka ụmụnna ya bịazie buru ngwa afịa tụwaziere ugwu na that warehouse always creating an avenue to beg. Now tell me, you in a yom balono, in a yego, money hunter, in a hunter ego. Na Nandina accuse you. No egonde mado ka haju wene bife haneme, gona hakelife dishe. Whether na yolo yayo ke emeriodu systematic that this is how people give money or donate money. It is the same. Either ways, that money is still coming from people. Nke na-abịa na church si anyị ministries anyị na-abịa through people. Nke na-abịa na omenala bụ ụzọ eziokwu ministry worldwide bụ through people. So what matters is kere ife eji ego ahụ wee mee. Ụfọdụ ji nke ha na-alụ fọfọ dekin, ụfọdụ ji nke ha na-eme anụmọzọ phase 1, ụfọdụ ji nke ha wele akọpụrụ gwongworo nwee ndị ji nke ha wee na-help humanity ha megidozi ife wee lụta university ebe ha ya esikwa na-ere ezi ego ha ya eji wee na-arụ ọnụ churches fa ịmapụta si ha mee ihe ka ọ dị free ibisha na members wu niile gwongworo ana m ajụ ajụjụ ibisha na members wu niile gwongworo members wu niile ha enweghị aka ọrụ ọkwa onye nke na-esogharị gị sinsi ebugharịrị gị akpa n'Igbo love themselves ka ọgụnụ ọkwa just last year ka ọgụnụ ka aka setụrụ ya with 1 million ọkwa so last year ka aka setụrụ ya with 1 million ana m ajụ ajụjụ apụtakwa few days ago ewerukwa 1.7 million atụkọtaziri werukwa enye the guy na shop ahụ anọkwa wee na-enye that guy that shop ka dịkwa empty onwere ngwa afịa dị na that shop. Now that particular shop, now are you telling me that 1 million or 2 million 3 million is not up to a guy make a randomly in a Zion ministry? Oluhodego onye duka Fada Mbaka na ewuru nye mmadụ. Fada Mbaka na-eje na kelafa Niger Foundation ka ọgụnụ duru Enugu ruo ebe ahụ agbakọcha hospital bills ndị mmadụ ọkwọ 30 something to 40 million naira ebe a ọ na-eme na different hospitals dị n'Enugu. Now that particular one follow ọkwụrụ about 38 to 39 million. Are you telling me that 10 million or 12 million out of that money cannot buy every single thing dona na chemistry Mathias na mkpọ gochasịcha ya even self ega if care is not taken egolu landlord nwu na 4 flat n'ime. Ana m ajụ ajụjụ. So tell me, you are a religious leader now. So why addressing your counterpart? You should check yourself very well. Malona, if you qualified and worthy to even talk to them, because you are not. You are not even anywhere near where they are stepping their foot. Some of them have done something you can never do in the next 20 years. Onye n'ime ha ka ihe ejemago. Onye n'ime ha ka ihe ejemago. My boy say Jeremiah one no dia break onya empower sharafa. Hana akwa daddy she na hana akwa daddy for nothing. Haji akwa daddy because now the source of their business today is Jeremiah. Onya nyeru hego fund one chanile. Ha mewe business egodo ha were go na so back to the church. This is something you don't know. If your mother amaho karere. If your mother amaho, owo na adebo eno yedebo na asego my children. Ishekwo no ụmụ ha mụrụ n'afọ. Ụmụ ha mụrụ n'afọ. Ife awụ ụmụ ha mụrụ amụma ndị ha adopt. Those men they make it go more than 10, 20, 30,000 people who are billionaires, single-handedly financed by them. We are not anywhere around their league of men. Ndana mapu ilo, mapu out 600, 1 billion away ilo community. Away ilo community. Ndana bata hospital etua, apikogido hospital bill, pikocha, ona pata 100 and something million, awaya check. Akugo. These are the men, e.g. Atako efi idewe na mpo weje na amago. Asking na before my role program that I have to monitor commenting them mother. Since after a special project I've done agreed. I have to monitor. I have to monitor people. Let me see. Now, these are your colleagues. They are your senior brothers in the ministry. They are your senior colleagues in the ministry. Because no, the same thing are gonna happen here. It doesn't matter whether the leader of Mathias Ezeaku denomination of Women and Culture and the tradition. It doesn't matter. The fact is that you have a church, they have their own. You have members, they have their members. You have branches, some of them have branches. You collect offering, some of them collect they collect offering. Yes, they all contribute money for you. They also put money together and finance the church. So can you tell me the difference between you and them? Oh, you do every day. Hit your next soon. Good looking. Even Ndigbo some best here. A man is 100 what you cannot do. Even Ndigbo, there are some people in their individual capacity. They have done more than 1,000 of what you cannot do. They are not making noise about it, but you are making noise about it. Look at what Okuro and Ndigbo was able to run and put together in Enugu the other day. Neife Okuro was able to run and put together in Enugu the other day. More than how many? More than 2,000-3,000 people. They are there for their medical checkup and routine. Yes, more than 3,000 people. Okuro and Ndigbo run in one single show without making noise about it. But every day, I have cured more than 6,000 people. 6,000 people, the greatest RNG of all time. You cannot show me a record. 6,000 people. Do you know what 6,000 people? Go say I file about 100 of them or 200 of them, so that we can believe you have cured more than 6,000 people. Is that number even realistic? That is the greatest RNG of all time. Il est mieux RNG. Yes, il est mieux RNG. The other day, EJ arranged one Reverend Father and one Reverend Sister Dime. Father Karankaru Kube and Sister Dime, Mamohon Ime Jima called Kulapa, Kopasaha, Boroha Kobata. Na Kofusarema na dirty place ya a place of worship. Very dirty place. Unaye buebu, unaye atata, unaye anyukoko. Every year, unahaka onoha. Every year, onoha. Look at what Evangelist Ebuka Obi has done. Jepana, Ebuka, I can tell you that Ebuka will more than 1,000 students on Apollo. Can you beat that? I can tell you that Ebuka will more than 200 families to 300 families that are surviving through him, through his ministry. That one is very sure. I can tell you the Ebuka hospital outreach that can even buy what are you telling me? These are men I'm from the other day. Look at Ndigbo. These are men who have created employment. They are employers of laborers. They are charity promas. Their humanity is running like flowing like water. These are men who has done more than what you can never do. Look at school very standard, very standard. Do you know how many teachers, how many teaching and non-teaching staffs that are being employed in that school? Do you know how many indirect jobs that school has created? in terms of those people who are supplying food items, because now that school way, but in school, people who are supplying school items, those who are supplying side like stationaries and everything. Do you know how these men see impact the life of people here and there? Look at this woman who was Sisters Fellowship International. Jane school nwanya nwe na mpo. Iwe back if ife na-eme. Iwe back iwe anya balak of ife na-eme. Do you know how many teaching and non-teaching staffs none at that school? These are employers of labors. When you talk about people building factories to create employment, what do you mean by that? How many employment have you been able to create, you that is Matthias? So upon the let me not call them Isiapu because mother na alulu nwe holo ha na enuru nwe ha live. Okwa ha okwonda na alulu holo na mpo. Jirod eti oboso onye otigido otiji ake ona nka ha ga ego ne ke na akwufa. Ego ne ke na akwufa. Ego na akwuha is nothing short of laborers no na Zion ground ebe ni ana akwugwo dey pay na ndo otuwe. It is nothing short of that. And when you go to that Zion ground in Angopala, there are more than 3,000 of them working at the same time. Working the same time. On a daily and the weekly basis, running into millions. Why are you making noise? I want to understand what your noise is all about. Let us have a decent conversation. What is it that you think you are doing? That let us run away. That what you are doing is what? Build the factory. The Ndosha are building factory. How many factories have you built? Father Mbaka ile wojela aka mepele akwarafa bread the other day. Onwere akwarafa yogurt. Onwere akwarafa water. The other day he attracted a German hospital one to come and establish a 500-bed capacity hospital in Enugu. Are these the men you are talking about? These are the men in Amago. These are the men in Amago. That Akwarafa bread, do you know how many workers that are working there? Do you know how many direct and indirect jobs that factory created? What of Akwarafa you got? Do you know how many direct and indirect jobs ever are created? Do you know the market force in terms of distributors, retailers, wholesalers, in fact, chain of distribution of all those establishments? Let's not talk about Akwarafa water. Do you know how many drivers alone that are working in all these establishments? Do you know how many technicians alone that are working there? And then na joge na asa nyama pulu ife ko warisi. Because some putule school na na-ekwu erisha. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many staffs on akwugwo every month, even as a reverend father? Do you know how many staffs on akwugwo? So what do you mean when you say open factories, create work instead of either water church? So if a church can now create employment and enabling environment where jobs can be created to the tune that even church leaders are paying millions in salaries every month, you are still there making noise. You are still there making noise. You are still talking about Jesus and not creating work. So if Jesus cannot create work, what has the Father Mbaka done through the name of that Jesus Christ? I am asking you, what of Fadede? What of Fadede? Fadede is paying a workforce of, Fadede is paying salary to the tune of over how many millions every month? Do you know that Fadede will more than 5, 6, 7,000 staffs that is paying salary every month? Do you know how many teaching and non-teaching staffs in Madonna University, Caritas University, Madonna University, Caritas University, the other one, Osusatec, Elifum, Brugate Bank, then you talk about Brugate Bank, then you talk about Gonoko again, Gold Transport, Then you talk about God. These are men. You are going to the even fish farm Jeremiah. Even fish farm Jeremiah. For you to successfully move around that fish farm, look at what Fish Magnet was able to do with the little fish farm. Look at how many workers Fish Magnet in that little fish farm. Now imagine Jeremiah with the full fish farm. For you to successfully move around that fish farm in 30 minutes, you have to move around with a speedboat. You have to move around with a speedboat. Do you know the market force? Do you know the market share he has created with that fish farm? I am mentioning them one after the other so that you shut up. What of Father Kerafe Okunelele? What of Okunelele? Okunelele nwere ebe a na-alụ pure water. O nwere things ọ na-establish ọ na-alụ na-akwụ people salary. Come to Catholic Diocese of Nnewi. Come to Catholic Diocese of Nnewi. And now, I'm very happy. Nobody you make very noisy. Na rush the mmadụ to ụlọ ọgwụ na Iyenu Omitie Mission Hospital. Say Iyenu Hospital. Iyenu Hospital. Shefono Iyenu Mission Hospital. Did you see the level of infrastructure that is there? Did you see the level of infrastructure that is there at Iyenu Hospital? Can you beat the number of nurses, the number of doctors, the number of even non-medical staffs non Iyenu Hospital? Can you beat them? Did you see the level of infrastructure and the equipment non Iyenu Hospital? Do you know that Nafangwe University Teaching Hospital, where they are training doctors and nurses? Do you know? Have you gone to the maternity wing of that hospital? Shut up, my friend. And we make sure no okay. Evangelist Ebuka Obi make a psychiatric hospital or government, a project that all government that can be able to run such project. A pastor out of his own magnanimity, mepe with his team, mepe old people's home. If one has a buy go, a go, nobody you Kamadu mepe free. Do you know the amount of money you make? No decide that to commercialize that project all na glory. Do you know the kind of money that they make? A lot of them they make gandala due to excess abuse of all wicked. Do you know Jane and K man pass man no rifte? Kemal Madonna crochet da nebe to kebe e manango ayala nearby. Not to talk of ebe mana no galanya. Galanya, Hana China Nigi can easily take Mwaha, Oje Hana Glory there, Ebe AC Adeku Mwaha, Nwata no Lukwa or Galanya, na Nwata no Kwakobe. He can pay any amount of money to make sure now revive from where there. You don't know? You don't know? You don't know that Evangelist Ebuka Obi decided to commercialize that facility. Don't agree that he will make a lot of money. You don't know? Or is it old people's home? Do you know how much of the big men are? Monday will go. Monday will they take care of their old parents? Do you know how much he can make if he decide to commercialize that facility? Do not agree. And if he may go now, he make. And he spent over 1 billion to put that project together there. He may go to a project capable of attracting a state governor. So imagine if Sorudo Juwebia there. Sorudo Biaradia, because this project is more like a government project. It is not even an individual project. Local government chairman or the because that is inconsequential. People's private clinics, people's private chemists, Adoration Pharmacy, Dona Teaching Hospital, Kefa Himepelu Nampoma, or in the name of hospital, a death trap. Who will even come there, even if it is free? When you are there, the only thing we need is about cinema. You know, Kavajo Poto to on that bridge. If you have to pay a baby, just say fibroid, they have capitalized. Who you put an affair? I could call you with an account. Image actually I had drop. If I were in a mission, you may put hard the term. The mother now follow a lot. The mother now follow transfer. The mother now follow ego. It's not that my family is yoku. Asrengo, Catholic Diocese of Nnewi. Jena catcom. Mamadu ne na alona catcom. Because currently na Nnewi, I think na catcom so na the biggest printing press. Even na Nnewi not Nnewi South. If care is not taken, inclusive, you can find printing press here you will compare catcom in Nnewi non-nation. Not in anywhere Nnewi South, Nnewi North. Ekusigo nando to Ihiala. No. Machine Bishop will have between there will top notch. Jegede Igbo. The Mamadu ne na alona catcom. What I go? Mbaje na Chukunonye Microfinance Bank. J na Chukunonye Microfinance Bank. Owned by Catholic Diocese of Nnewi. J na Immaculate Heart Hospital. J dia. How many doctors? How many nurses? Non-Immaculate Heart. Into a case when we change of supply in Ifinina. Because I did about Ogu, I did about stationaries, I did about Ni, I did about so many things. I'm talking about Catholic Diocese of Nnewi. Jena Anglican Diocese of Nnewi. Jena the Same Hospital Akudo. That hospital has been existing there for over 70 years, if not over 80 years or 100 years. The Same Hospital Akudo. Yes. Yeah? The Same Hospital Akudo has been there. You were by infrastructure not going over 80 years. Do you know how many staffs that are working currently na that hospital? If not for anything, mortuary here so na the most active mortuary no anywhere around this our area. Overperform the teaching hospital, a government hospital. Gunu ke na ako. Bagari zie na ebe filling stations, ICT center, Bishop Ndigbo na etigesi ebe niile. To the point that na Nnewi Anglican Diocese will facility ebe ụmụazị na-ede jambo with over 500 laptops there. What do you know? I'm asking you. What do you know? What do you know? What do you people understand by creating jobs? Where individuals are creating the job that government are supposed to be creating. Every day. Do you work for so or return? And I'm a yeah. Every month return. Who are you to be challenging people who are paying them in their thousands? Who are you to be challenging them? And I'm a jojo. In will God, iji nkwankwa ifa elo na mpo wele achọ ka ikuzie laaye na onye ahụ ya nya jewu na ọgwụ. Mgbe ndị ụka in their own wisdom mepelu the same hospital Akudo amụgo Matias amụgo o nwere ike amụbo odu nne gị ọ amụbo nna gị mana ị bịara ka ịkọwalụ ndị ụka ijecha n'ihe elu kpara icha n'ihe elu pụta ka na-achọ ka ịkọwalụ ndị ụka ijecha na Amakụ General Hospital pụta ka na-achọ ka ịkọwalụ ndị ụka inwe God na-emecha Standard of Seraphic Hospital na Lagos with a standby active ambulance na-achọ ka ịkọwalụ ndị ụka the need to go to hospital. Paracetamol ọdụ na hospital ya, tetracycline ọdụ na chemist ya. Ana m ajụ ajụjụ bịa na Immaculate Heart Kam okwu na dia pharmacy section. Iroki wura anya kpalak. Dia kam kpogari ya jeze na South Africa hospital. Ịbata na hospital udo anya na onye na-arị ahụ egbubute na hospital a no kurugodu n'ume double godu of godu na ọ na-elegodo ndụ anya nọọsụ nya jezie galụ ndụ a ọ ife ọ na-ekwu udo a na-ebu udo ịgba na-eti ọnụ ọwụdụ ka a na-ekwu okwu ka ọ na na-agafusi okwu ana m ajụ ajụjụ ọkwa ka a na-agafusi okwu ka ọ na na-agafusi okwu when I take mgbagozie na ndetu ka Bishop Oyedepo Adadi Adeboye, these are the people that are signing out money to pay the salaries of over 40,000 people in this Nigeria. The only people who can be able to match the labor force of Adeboye and Oyedepo, who somebody in the caliber of Dangote, multinational companies scattered all over 36 states. Not anybody in Aniba or anybody anywhere. We need the kind of labor force Adeboye and Oyedepo and even paying the level of money for now to even sustain people in Alolo Hall. It's a fact. So when you talk about Ndosha na Alo factory, they create all government doing more than even individuals. When you come to Nigeria, individuals doing more than government. Individuals doing more than government. We got ide kwuokwa bia na anya esi ono obodo iwe be Ndosha obodo Ijebo okwe India ka ijegulu India so na be Ndosha were India na agbara ya atọ not be Ndosha so now somebody like Adeboye or Oyedepo, Covenant University, let us talk about Covenant University. Okay, let us talk about what if there are pastors who are doing the work of God, evangelism, and they are being paid for doing that. What do you think could have been the fate of that person or knows how that called? Because redeem or winners, each and every one of them will over 30,000 pastors for now, and I know how they are sustaining those pastors. Have you ever asked yourself, it shall not churches need a let me use even Winners Chapel Zambia. Ego neka Winners Chapel Zambia anyway. And they see na Lagos would they go? Will they inject in a Winners Chapel? Toyota Regios, the pastor soon about na Winners Chapel. Who for Lagos, yes, we would go, it will go Regios. Anna, Eva na Materu, Nke Materu, not headquarters on Alibala Kogono. Wuna Lagos case we would go, Batana would go, Roshia, would go na Lagos when I run that church. So can they ever women with those your machineke? A plant your pastor there, they change her, a Wolunko, Ghana, Wolunka, Nigeria, transfer alone. Every year they may transfer airline and Lego and they figure logistics and they move here and there. These are the men of government in Manafano, men of government in their respect, because the government how difficult it is to be doing what they are doing. Hacking a wujelono, hacking a wujelono. Ebula Oyedepo mo Adeboye na private jet na kupisi nana. Can you do water of sacrifices those men do? Do you know what they have been through to be able to the kind of children Harris Golu? They can never suffer. Stop looking at, forget about it. They can never suffer. When they cough like this, brilliance and they roll out. How much to go? How biological children? When they talk about, I want 100 of my children who can give 1 billion each. Ena kusinana. Mgbe ha yi betru se pass na bata apagara ifoa. ngwa na ọnwụlụ na ilu ebe ha nọ dizi ruo n'elu every day ka ị na-preach to the same people na mpọ also na Facebook ka ị nwere group of noise makers dụka but in reality you don't have anybody. Mkpọtụ niile inyelu for over how many years ka ị kpọrọ physical crusade na Enugu State nobody came. Ihe dị ebe a na-ese n'elu mmiri na-agwa ukwu nkwụ okwu because also na one of the ministers perform on that crusade. Kpatara njiwe na-asị na o nwere ife dị iche na agụ na nda. You should start doing things so that these people, your colleagues in the ministry, they are your colleagues. It's supposed to register. Okay, you register na Christian Association of Nigeria because your church have a Christian organization. But you just solu gosi ife ha. Register na nke ha. Solu gosi ife ha. Na-eje meeting. Yes. Ụgbọ ni na-enyegharị mkpọtụ. Aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Onye dụka Pastor Jeremiah ka ị na-agwa na aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Onye dụka Papa J. Ndị na-arụ ọnụ multinational businesses ka ị na-agwa na aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Ka ndị na-eje ụka ka ị na-agwa na aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Etu abiri ọdụ nọ bupụta ego jee lụọ chọọchị nya ka ị na-agwa na aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Nya ọhụrụ nnọọ na-enenemezie members because na let's say that na m nwere school 70% or 80% of my students may fail. What it shows is that my school is not doing well. So when you come to Christian organization, there is no any caliber of people you can never see. There is no caliber of people you can never see. But let us come to Unapologetically Ezeaku. Matias is the richest and the most influential member of Unapologetically Ezeaku. So what does it show? What it shows is that you guys are not doing well. You guys are not doing well. Go to our churches today. You will see the most successful people there. So what is it you are teaching us? What do you want us to learn from you? In akuzira in akajaja manu because of na couple gbongoro na mbo. What of innocent de potandocha kampu ahia innocent no dey joker. Ichoka ngosi ushoshi so well. Ana majoga juju. What of chikasen? What of kosheris nezozioma ndocha na azasa? Kosheris nwere experts ndo na akwụ ụgwọ foreign expert ọ na-akwụ ụgwọ ịbata na warehouse kosheris ngwafe ya that wo. People do like that. No. Ana ege ngonwa wa afa anụnta aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ watch so na akpọ gogogogogo. I nwere ike iwota do machine nwere ike ide nya ka bute screw mechanized way I say make that assembly na ebe a as a cake as you are. Jane Asambros, you know Asambros, ke fuka Asambros as a rolo. Ibata Asambros do that this is a mechanized workshop. You still believe in analog system, a cake ways of doing things. Abata workshop, a washes so na hammer neti, so fuchuku mama do workshop ga na alaka. Their productive hands. Aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ ịnọsị nkwunu ka ị na-agwa Louis Kata ọbata ozuora nwere plastic industry n'Enugu nwere Louis Kata food and industry ebe ya wiruo were anya kpara akụ yet ndị fada niile echiri fada n'uru agụ nya na Kata for them megide ife ruo St. Louis bupụta millions of naira wee ruo St. Louis nye ndị ụka Louis Kata ka ị na-agba na aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ kele ebe a ya agụwa a role model to who ka ewu onye ọwụna na-ewogo nwa Matias is a failure. That person has failed. I'm telling you for free. Anybody pụta n'ụwa si na Matias wu a role model, that person is a perpetual failure. Failure is your surname. Yes. Epụta isi na Matias wu your role model. For what? Aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ. Matias is telling us this, he's telling us that. I agree on even real estate ibe na-eme so n'one. Even real estate ọ nọ na ọkwọ safia ka ọ ga na-agba o so na mmadụ one n'ime ya. ana m ajụ ajụjụ mmadụ ole ka o so agụba agụọ ya na ole. He's an inconsequential Igbo. In fact, he's so irrelevant as an Igbo man. Oh, nobody knows him. Yes. And that is the truth. So, Kelifona Bikuzirai, Kelunde, look at Pastor David Onwebuna, the General Overseer of Chapel of God's Intervention. Benzafam. Biakam Olowo, Ojegu, n'ife Pastor David Onwebuna na-eme ka itinye mkpu gbapụ n'aka. Those are the men ị na-eji akụziri na aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ ife ha na-ama ntụ pulpit na-ekwu okwu Chukwu esi na enufa Benzafam. Bịa ka m kpojegu di a iru oke iwere anya kpara akụ. These are men who are 100 times far away before you can even get to the level of where their intelligence and their spiritual gift has taken them. It will take you forever. But that time, you will be seeing yourself as a king because the kind of pride you will take quarter of a day. Pastor Jerry is a farmer. Iya abali ka komunigwe. Webu ona webu ifi melo. So makano na emeli tuo. Ndago do na ahụ ana tọrọ ogodo na na-aga. Isi ya gbarigo. Ndago do na ahụ. I can tell you that 80 to 90% of your members are hungry. I quick over. If you can get this issue bosoka, Loki will anya palako nilo. Hey, among Kime Bahona Coca is because all this heat. Some people cannot even wash their caps. It's very dirty. If you know where you member, if you know where they are bago, if they are bagocha, ndezangolo. Akawoka kachashoka amaro 3 cups of local beans. Amayonya amaro 3 cups of local beans. Amayonya nka amalo adoro fu sachet of groundnut oil adoyonya eme nka ọ na-afịakwa n'ebe niile ọ na-afịa ebe niile anyị agbafe elugo gụnụ ka ị na-akụziri anyị n'aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ anyị dị jobless. O nwere ife anyị na-alụ sọgụ nwere aka ọlụ sọsọgụ nwere aka ọlụ tata ka ilo dibe ha bunatabalụ Mercedes product nya brand new one tata ka Kosharis ha si man ha na-alụ rice Kosharis nwe Kosharis farm ebe a na-alụ rice na Neva ọpụtụ mmadụ one bata na Nnewi baa n'ime nkwọ Nnewi ka ifife na-akpa aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ gụnụ ka ị na-emekarịcha special. Ana m ajụ ajụjụ what is it tip gwongworo ahụ nya gwongworo niile ahụ ị na-akọpụrụ ndị niile nọ na Anambra steeti ahụ ngworo akọpụrụ ya omugwo na onwe ndị na-akọpụrụ ya without making noise. Nke ugwu eze be anyị nyara ọnwụ ngwọ kọpụrụ ya. Ana m ajụ ajụjụ zaanụ aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ maka ndị niile ahụ ị na-afụ n'ụlọ ụka every Sunday ịma ọ na every Monday fancha niile ndị na-alụ ọrụ oyibo n'ime ha ejebe n'ọrụ ndị na-eme biznes n'ime ha ịbata nkwụ Nnewi shop onye ọ na-agbaghesi na shop ya kiosk niile dị na nke ilo onye ọ na-emepe na shop ya onye enwe ha aka ọrụ onye enwe ha aka ọrụ. Amanda Chize remind me of that Father Nwebe's song. That Father Nwebe's song go. If I'm follow na agreed with Njelu. Ozuwolomo ebe inadindu ozuwolomo onya Father Nwebe's song. Aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ ndị niile ahụ na-abịa chọọchị hụ na mkpọ ha enwere aka ọlụ iwere adọ ha sachet groundnut oil na ama ya 2 cups of rice na-eme ibute ji ofu mba ji igbu ọha ya ụzọ ịtọ mmadụ family ịtọ ewolu kwọta wee na ha enwere aka ọrụ ka nna jụ enwere aka ọrụ you can't even share that nonsense n'ụlọ ụka onye ka ị na-eke ndị sicha na rice bịa wee bịa ụka ndị ihe eke n'ụlọ ụka ọ ndị sicha na rice befa wee bịa ụka ka ọgụnụ ana m ajụrụ gị ajụjụ because aghọtaghị m n'ụlọ ụka nwee ndị na-alụ mekaniki na-alụ gwogwo nwee ndị na-alụ jen nwee electricians nwee business people nwee manufacturers nwee transporters nwee drivers nwee ife niile kedu ndị na-akụziri na aka aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ pine leaf estate real estate ọ na ịmụrụ nọ a bishop ka ọwụ pine leaf ọ na ịmụrụ nọ a bishop ka ọwụ in that real estate business ị ka ya eme ọfụma nwa gota ifia motors and nwa gota ifia properties and gold limited are you not aware no an apostle ka ọwụ no a minister ka ọwụ ị ka ya eme ọfụma as a real estate developer as a real estate ị ka ya eme ọfụma ana m ajụrụ ajụjụ ịmụkwa na ndị Anglican Diocese of Nnewi nọ into real estate chọọchị wota na-ele members abịa gụkọrọ ọfụma ị ka ya eme ọfụma achọrọ m ịma ife na-aka gị obi iji wee feel that anyị nwanwu ndị Igbo should begin to look up to you. Do you think we are your members who are jobless and lazy? You think we are them very jobless and lazy people to even raise 500,000 during the time of Mamu Mushu, to even successfully raise 600,000 within 4 hours is a problem. Ego him and all a church, one person can easily come up and give 10 million. Anamaju ajuju. Iwerike sanya. Iwerike sanya. Even engineer ateze. Personal choirs on akwụ ụgwọ be. Personal choristers on akwụ ụgwọ be. So ka ha bịa na-agụrụ ya naanị ọrụ anyị naanị ọkpụkpụ tintin naanị ọrụ anyị ka ga-eji cheta anyị otu aka ga-esi nọrọ n'ụlọ naanị ọrụ anyị ka ga-eji cheta anyị sọsọ ndị na-agụ ya ebe ata eze igbe ego nọ na-akwụfa igbe ego na-akwụfa ndị ụka nwere nkwa nwee nkwakịrịkpokpo o nwere ife anyị nwere anyị nobody o nwere ife ị bịara ịkụziri anyị gụrụ ka ị abịa ịkụziri anyị ana m ajụ ajụjụ kedu ife ị na-abịa ka ịkụziri anyị tell me one single thing you are coming to teach us ị na-abịa akụziri anyị aka aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ aka aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ no ego ahụ ha na-eje enye onyinye n'ụlọ ụka ngụ na-enye ha eye ego ahụ ha ji eje egoro olive oil and holy water ngụ na-enye ha eye ego ahụ ha ji eje eme donation eburu eje ebi ndị ụka ngụ na-enye ha eye ọhọzi n'ọlụ ọ na-afịa ka ha na-azụta sọsọ nwere aka aja ọ na-eme ha jee n'ọnụ nda briji yọta ego ha ekporo jenye ọhọzi ego ha zụtara azụta ọhọzi ego ha lụtara alụta aka aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ na-enyegharị mkpọtụ ebe niile anyị na-agbafere. Look at a wonderful project Ebuka Obi rụrụ iso n'ofu amụsụ kwuru ajọ okwu maka project ya ndị ọzọ niile ọnụ mechiri hapim they don't know what to say. That project 1 billion 200 and something million won na pocket ndị mmadụ. Have you ever injected such amount of money in a single project? In fact, in all the projects imegunu n'ụwa, have you ever been able for people to benefit such amount of money from you? I'm sure na ndị lụrụ ụlọ gị ahụ na everyday n'ihi eburu oche jedo n'odebe ya ebe a. Ana m ajụ ajụjụ. A single project iche na ego ahụ a na-akpọ eriri ebe a ọkwọ na pocket ndị mmadụ ka ndụ ego ahụ simenti niile eji wee rụọ ọrụ a ọkwọ na pocket ndị mmadụ. So when you people talk about employment, what are you talking about? There is direct and indirect employment. Yes, there is direct. I can tell you that now that place produce another indirect employment rolling to the tune of ego and the money benefit from there. Are you not aware? We are not aware. Look at what is happening in Ngopala. For the Nimuno Potana Salasiono. AKJ factory. AKJ factory. Tell me what can be more productive than what Evangelist Ebuka Obi is doing there. Something not capable of developing Obodo. A lot of people in where there are different means of livelihood. Something not capable of putting money not only directly but indirectly into the pocket of people. An Okada person Gary, a bus driver Gary, people from aviation sector, Hallelujah, Yeli, Ndigbo free station, Gary, Ndigbo free station, Gary, Ndigbo Paradise, Gary, Ndigbo building materials, Gary, Ozuru onye owo no ebe no na adokaru nke wu na-eti na aba. Ebe no na adokaru nke wu. Direct and indirect employment. Mechanics, name them people who know bona ganeri, na ganeri. Na anyagasiono. Build the factory, build the factory, build the factory, build the factory, factory, na factory na factory anafio. Block industry nkete enubo. Ebe a na-produce palm oil, iruboho. O iruboho anything. Ego Matias ji wee jero 4-story building ahụ ọbịa gosi anyị. Ego ahụ ọ dụrụ enough iji successfully rụọ a factory ọwụgodu block industry. Look at what Pamtech is doing. Look at what Pamtech is doing. And when you look at the life of that man, you could see that that man is disciplined. He's a devoted Christian. Look at the wonders that Pamtech is doing in Port Harcourt. Look at the wonders Pamtech is doing in Owerri and other places. Without making any noise. This is Empire. Help me and ask that man how many factories all go. Everyday factories are ego ne kajugo hanwicha na newu factories halogasre. Papilo table water. O je put ego na Central Bank welo papilo table water. Ana majoga ajuju. Table water aho. At least that factory ololo can be able to create employment for many people. One, we talk about indirect employment. Ndere milliard. Ndere distribute milliard. What are you telling me? Ndena hoko ya hoko nilo. Ndena hoko ya hoko nilo. Papiro. Ojizu ego Mathias juwelu for dikin. Welo that factory. Okoli onyago wuru ka agbalo. Okoli onyago wuru ka agbalo. Kan na ajo. Okoli onyago wuru ka agbalo. Ego one ka o tekiri iji wee lụ a factory ebe a na-alụ bread. Ka ndị mmadụ bịa nwa aka ọrụ. Ego one ka o tekiri iji wee lụ. Ego one ka o tekiri iji wee lụ a candle making factory. Ego one ka o tekiri iji wee lụ filling station. Ana m ajụ ajụjụ. 4-story building. Ime ego one eji wee first digging. Achọrọ m ịma how many years ya lụrụ ya. Also, Bam no 4 years or no 5 years. Oh, look, we got in a project to build a factory. Oh, would they ban a luncha? Would they ban a lude? Would they ban a lu detergent? Would they ban a luna? Anything. He can go far, completely successfully, and they employ people there. How can you be pushing people to do something you have failed to do? How much is it going to cost Matias to open a mechanized poultry? Go into rice production. Go into animal feed. Go into mechanized farming. How much do you think cost to be able to establish all these things in there? But he went and built a 4-story building. Or calculate go ne ayada koye anaguzira no 4-story boy, no 4-story. You are a typical businessman just like every other person. An average businessman cholo asset what is different from you and other people in Atuaka? Ana m ajụ ajụjụ kedu ife dị iche from Ngonwa and ndị ahịa na-atụ aka. Ife dị iche is that before you get to the level where they are, before you can be able to do what they have done, atụrụ ya epu ya atụrụ ka ọgụrụ ya epu mpi. Talk is cheap, but action, equivalent action. Anaghị afụsi okwu o. Anyị eme mekene ife iji wee wuru odogwu ha adịsa I greet you. A na-etughozi Igbo ndụ oke afa na-egbu nwa nkịta. A na-etughozi Igbo ndụ etuzie ghozi Igbo ndụ etu okwuru na ndị Igbo gono etu ụlọ Zeus gono ka anyị etuo ndị dụka icon ha ọkụ onye egwu na ha atọ eze fa omeka nna efa call them nkele afa ya ọga ndị ọgafa bishop ọzọ bụrụ fa. Those men in their capacity who has been sustaining so many people who are poor. Yeah? I attended last year 100 days crusade at Ngobala. For that 3 days, I rented a room at a price of 40,000. Someone even rented his own at a price of 80,000 for that 3 days. Now watch what Ebeha was so a week that they don't know the benefit of what is happening there. Oh yeah, say another person, a price of 80,000 for 3 days. Okada for a short distance was 1,000. Okada people they benefit. Even residents of Ngobala they benefit. Everybody they benefit. The benefit is all round. Nyaga mother ya will go on open factory. So if hama open factory. National anthem open factory. National anthem open factory. On a fie benine me pay factory. Factory. He chef one if the melu activities which we do na Igbariam today is Anambra State University. And before Anambra State University, there were so many factories outside there. What took you there? What took me there? Anambra State University, Igbariam. What took many people to leave? Even some of those people who went there, they got land and they built hostels, accommodations there. If such people there, is that university? Can even me penu newi afia nko newi. Mobaye can even me pele Koto Lagos Synagogue Church of All Nation. Can even tini life around that redeem camp or that redeem camp, Butere life around that redeem camp. Can even make Victory Estate, Hosanna and Peace. You will follow no before Kotata also your ministry. I just paid 60K for this year's 100 days. I just paid 60K for this year's 100 days. This past Sunday, 60K for 4 days. Look, in accommodation alone. Now these 3 days, Marukuno when they are about 1 week. When they are about 3 days to the program, now 3 days or 2 days after the program. So you find out that over 1 billion or over 500 million will be paid totally on accommodation, both in hotels, both in residential houses, both in commercial houses for those period of time. You are still asking, you know, the effect of that church. Is she for a church has a critical stakeholder somewhere in Nigeria? They are part of the integral part of our development in this country. You can never. There is no God, no church government in Nigeria that is going to play with church bodies. No government can play with the religious bodies. You cannot do so. Do you know their contribution? Their contribution is immense. You can never joke with them. You can never joke with them. That is why people regard the churches as the government of their own. As the government of their own. Chase them away, buy that to zero. Build factory. On your Kadabana, I can't wait for Zion to come down. But for the meantime, the next 100 days you will see, we say not to can last year, ni make go. Hey, you say nanke last year. Ni fe munye na akwa ewu sweetheart, darling. Na ego money na water. And all the query. Factory ebujeleba yemi fa how possible. Na ni query. No query check and debu wari so miti boribo. Una me economics. Una ma ife a law of demand and supply. You don't know what it is. Am I right? Yeah? Am I right? When I address them as stark illiterate, it pains them. But that's who they are. Men who cannot reason properly. Exactly. Men who cannot reason properly. That is exactly what you say. Look at the presence of psychiatric hospital dona aguledi. Sorudo agwagofa ilo oyhalo. Zion alugo nke hayalo. Who do you want to build that factory? Before you build to law factory na Newia, law factory, law this seaport, onwelu na on airport. Where ibeto petrochemical, nya ibeto omalekwe, ibeto omela announcement. Before Seaman bido in rice production, omela announcement. Before Dozy Oil, Obi Jackson ha mentioned them. Louis Katafa. Ozi Igbo niile ife dia so Nnewi Innocent. OTC Uru Industry. The late Ajuru Zodike Ozi Uzo Nnewi. The late Capital Oil and Gas Ifeanyi Uba. Akwatu Egwu Ndigbo Chikasi Okafo, Chiko Kafo. Mention their names. Hako and Rico. Humphrey Ngona de Ngobros. Anama Bonde Bay. Edison break padefa. Denka service. Bukoje ship. Uju stay benide. Wewulo ozuru Igbo. Because nefo men na bono no under Denka service na Abafia. If I Ebuka Obi culture police. Lichikachu na ebe niile ikpowa na 80 million 100 million ego hancha niile no under Denka service Abafia. Ha ma hokwa. Ha want to billboard. Oba eventually invest ya. Before you know some bido ida alumoto na Nnewi o ma ho kwa wuru billboard mount ebe niile before Johel Pharmaceutical ebido ilo medical equipment n'Awka o ma ho kwa ume announcement before Allen Onyema Okonkwo kelafa ya Okonkwo first kelafa ya Obiora Okonkwo Kogono before Haba into the airline business They did not make announcement and put billboard everywhere. Hey, build factory. They choose field. They know they can fit very well, and they go into it right away without making noise. So, I na-ekwu build factory ya, amụmụ ndị a na-achọ ka fa rụọ ya. O nwere ego onye ya wee were lụcha factory ya, onye kwedu functional. O nwere ego onye look at ife kelafa ya aputes. Look at ife aputes na-eme, and these are guys jecha n'ala obodo oyibo luo China gbagharịcha mba ụwa luo nyopụta ife a buru ihe bunata kpọta ndị ọcha bịa kụzirie ndị be anyị kịta. Abutes na fabricate kitchen equipment any level. Onwere ife eji metal and ife dị ma fabricate, Abutes cannot fabricate here. Onye njenje ka onye isi awụ ife mara ọhụmụ ofe ka apụsịchalụ nọrọ China nọrọ America na ndị otu owuru ofu na-agba nsogbu agba. Very useless to ndị Igbo. The only good news I know the way from them was papa enwetago visa. That's all. They are so empty, no value at all, not one bit. They took Abutes, they took Efani Wosufa, Onyi Jefa, Jenobodo. They did not stay there forever. They came back home with value. Ngoma, no go Bodo 15 years, no go Bodo 20 years. Every day on Facebook, on so you Ndigbo, on need the with fair. I'm talking to Ndigbo, my brothers. Igbo, who are you talking to? If I hear now, one day, onye ka ịchọ bịa mee nye batari kpochara na be nna yo na ịchọrọ ịrụ ebe a na-alụ kuki n'oyi. Mgbe Chikasim bịara idevelop Chikasim village na Nnewi a, Nnewi niile amala ekwe akụlụ ekwe. Ana m ajụghị ajụjụ mgbe GOD brothers ha Sentofa Okremskofa kpọwa ha jugo n'ụmụ dị nkwafa ndị ahụ ndị local factory ụfọdụ n'ime ha factories fada arụzi ọrụ taa 86 brake pad fa. Mgbe ndị a bịara ịlụ factory ha amalụ ekwe si donu biko ọwụrụkwo na anyị ejebego. They did not do that. They went ahead and they start doing what they know how to do best. Unu nwa nọrụ na-enye mkpọtụ. Look at what Abutes is doing. Abutes is a young guy jelo obodo oyiwo, jechi obodo oyiwo. Look at what Innocent did. Mgbe Innocent na a na-atụ machine ụmụ Japan and China machine a na-ewu ewu. Innocent wee sị na ọ ka mma na mụ njerube ndị ọcha bunata plastic and other part of this machine mepe block industry n'Enugu ebe a na-alụ block engine motorcycle. Kpọrọ ndị ọcha bịa alụ wee ife mara ife na-eme. Innocent na-alụ block engine motorcycle niile ọ na Nigeria ebe a. Agbalụ na onye njenje ka onye isi awọ ife malụ na-afe practical. When you see young guys jere obodo oyiwo bata doka Abutes ya doka kelafa onye nke nwelu kelafa, let me remember his name. These are the guys in jere obodo oyiwo luo so innovative enough to capture something, and they quickly rush back home here to come and start implementing that thing. Look at Ndigbo Pofenge. Pofenge fabo China ka habili Odenibo Pofenge China ka obi. Nọrọ na China, he was able to establish a business line here. Bubata nyopo Nigeria from Oko and do to enye nsogbu. These guys started making fast chargers, power bank and all these things. Before you know it, he penetrate, go deep into Nigerian market. Nọrọ obodo oyibo na-akwasịrị nọrọ obodo oyibo every day na-akwasịrị aka n'ike. Ụfọdụ ndị otu ụlọ China establish China shipping line cargo from route way from China to Nigeria, China to Angola, China to Mozambique. Ịnọrọ there every day pụtara Facebook ịnọrọ na-akwụ n'elu na-enye sọ mkpọtụ na-emeki noise na-asụsọ higiridi pigiridi na-asụsọ oyiwo unproductive English. or ya you do anything. He cannot you do anything. So on a munu preach kata ifunu anama say onye udu kunu na ezi ozioma. Onye kunu na ezi ozioma. Onye kunu na achọwa. Nya ịgbala na lụọ factory onye kwelu ọrụ. Nya ịgbala na ife kelafa ya. Gbafe enviable. Look at them, enviable transport. Look at what they are doing. Look at how Obi Kubana and the chief priest here, they have been able to take over entertainment industry. And these are vibrant young youths. Before you know it, company capota, high general the eyes of that company in Nigeria here. And on Facebook. Na so you Mathias Ezeaku or na kuzira ya kajaja. And then they can akuzira kajaja. Before he go Highlander guy history he go na 2018 because your 2021 or 2000 go. Onwe na nde gbakala cruiser. Onwe na nde gbakala ụgbọ. Mba imi ajaja na ntị ajaja ka ha ji wege or ha ka ajaja. You are the most successful and the most hardworking Nigerian. Yet onwe ife you are the most successful and the most hardworking Nigerian. Yet, when you feel in a Kuzira Yaka Jajani, put on man. Shop Unine don area Ungumwe. Shop Unine don a market Ungumwe. Ebenebe, if any no mas buy in a trade fair na Balogun, Ungu Wonyam with Bana Mandelas, Imelegos Island, Jena Alaba International, Jena Ladepo, Jena Trinity. Bagaria manu yimbo ebenebe ifeni no maze bayi na tipu sisi manala wansen ngo ka hadu productive iji akuzira anyị na aka aja na ebuto no mmanụ ibara taiba ebenebe ifu maze bayi na eme na nkwọ Nnewi Onitsha market head bridge gbagolu na Aba jee n'Enugu Ogbete bagaria ebeni na ahụ if any na wongo ka ha we do productive aka aja na ebuto ọnụ mmanụ mana ekwu offering time blessing time ngo na amaya ka na Aba wole ego nye fasifa je enye onyinye ego ha na-eje enye onyinye ego ha na-eje akwụkwọ donation ha mere ego ha ji eje ego olive oil ngo na-enye ha eye ngo na-enye fa eye you are the one giving it to them anaghị afụsi okwu na anya gasị ọnụ ka wewo na ekwu okwu onye ruo onye je echi fo ya alụ onye luo onye ji echi ifo ya alụ ịghọtago ga Matias you are a role model to ndị Igbo ebere eme asị na ọkpana na-ele ọkụ n'aha mmanụ ịghọtago asị na ahụ amake ọkpana na-ele ọkụ n'aha mmanụ asị gị na ahụ amaka ya it is only time. It is only time. You have joined the league of that the GOs in town, and you have seen the need to do evangelism. You have seen the need to run and fix a crusade. You have seen the need to collect offerings so that the church can keep running and moving to the permanent site. You have seen the need why donation must be made because money must come from people. Money to run a church must come from members. You have seen the need for all these things. What is it that you have not seen? The only thing you want is to convince us that your way is just the only way. Matias, when you feel so na Igbo, abia na mbo ebe ahụ nọ na mbuko obose isolo na ayago katago, and the more than 70, 90, 100, 1,000 people ayago will go. They are all Christians. They are all Christians. Obodo onye ofu anya na weze. Kedu ife ya obodo a? Obodo onye ofu anya na weze. O ife omena na buze eziokwu church ya awu. Because also ngwu onye kwuru nganga etu a. Abia gowari ya go imukwa n'ogono na abia wanka. You are just a hustler. Mana na akuziri anya aka aja na ebute ọnụ mmanụ. aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ mmanụ. Mba, aka okwute ka anyị ji eri nri, ọzi aka aja aja. Anyị nwekwadoro aka ọrụ, anyị enweghị aka ọrụ na ahụghị ije nọ na chọọchị gụọ ụzana, anyị gụcha ụzana na luo rice apịa na pot, chicken esi onwe, karọt ebi onwe ya with salad. Onwere ife anyị na-eme ịghọtago. Anyị nọrọ ha n'ụlọ ụka na ọgwụkwọ sọfịa gụcha dio, anyị gụchagha ya na luo osikapa eju n'ite, anụ na stew aju, ịghọtago. Anyị erime nri onye lukwa anụ ya wolile ya egwu eze ya ọnụ, wolile egwu eze ya ọnụ. You are in nobody na ana Igbo here. Ndị niile a na-eme ka ịghọta na onwere ife, they are your enemies. They don't like you. They are the people who are trying to use you to achieve one nonsense that can never be possible in Nigeria, in Africa self. It can never be possible in Africa by ịchọ mmeche ekwuzie m ife ha na-achọ ka ha were achieve, mana ama na m akụkata na ka ekwe, akụkata na nya ka ekwe kekwụrụ ọtọgbu. Ụmụazị Igbo na-agba mbọ ife ndebe anyị. We have never left our root, and religion has never affected any part of our life in a negative way. We even religion wopụrụ anyị as Igbo people. Nothing. It's in no way. Gwanya. You always make reference to our ancestors. Can you live the way they live? The answer is no. Wolu firewood siwenni. That is how they manage to cook their food. Yes, wo firewood siwenni. Wo jukwu ejaba. Je goro bicycle igwe. Bicycle bịakwuru abịa. Wee ojukwu ejaba na mmadụ zari ya n'afa, ma ọ wee kwuo ikiri wee jewe ebe ị na-eje. Eche ịṅụ mmanya hapụ green finish, jee buru nkwenu na ngwọ ṅụọ. There are so many things you can do to be able to live like them, since you are always referencing on them, forgetting that the time is history, is a stone age time. You cannot survive 1 hour. Now that time handle there. I will end this broadcast here. I think tomorrow morning is another day. Share this video.